Now let's proceed and create data for a surface, or add data to a surface, because currently the surface that we have is existing ground and it is empty. To do so, proceed and click at the Modify tab. Proceed and click at Surface under the Ground Data panel. Under the Modify panel, we have a down drop. Click at this particular down drop. This down drop is called Add Data. We are going to add point files for now, but in the next lesson we are going to see how you can even use the point groups. For now, let's proceed and click at point files. You're going to be taken to this add point file dialog box, where you can proceed and export points, and those points are going to be used to create this surface, or are going to be added to this surface as data. Now let's proceed and click at this icon. Before you import these particular points, you need to make sure that you know how they are actually placed. For example, the points that we are about to import are comma delimited, and also they have various columns, as we are going to see. For now, let's proceed and click at this point. Click at this particular point to edit existing point file format. We're going to use pens comma delimited, and then we can proceed and create a copy from that. Now for the name, we can just call it M points. We can just call it M.3, and then the default file extension is a CSV. We can now proceed and have the point number as the first column, the second column is the easting, northing, and then you have the point elevation. So this is okay. Now we may have the point description. Again, you can proceed and add a point description, that is the row description, and then we click OK. But even if we proceed with the first 4 columns, we are going to still have the points imported and use the point data for our surface. Now let's just proceed and click OK. Make sure to choose delimited by comma. Let's proceed and click OK. Remember, our new file format is M3.3 or M.3. Let's proceed and close. And then we choose M.3. Make sure you choose it, add a specify point file format, and then we click at this button to add. For this one, we're going to proceed and choose M.2, and then we proceed and click at open. And then we can just proceed and click OK. Now our surface has points as the data. If you expand, we are able to see that we have a point file added. That's why we have a green dot next to the point file. And if you click at the point file, you're able to see the name of the point file. So we have used M.2. Now for you to be in a position to see the surface in this particular drawing window, we are going to proceed and right click on existing ground, and then we can just proceed and choose zoom to. And once we choose zoom to, we are able to see the boundary for this particular surface. But of course, this is just the display that you can proceed and change. For now, let's proceed and close this. Now we can change the display of this particular surface. Let's proceed and right click on existing ground under the prospectus tab, and then surface properties. Now remember, when we are creating a surface, we specified the surface style to be border only. That is why currently, after adding the data, the point data, we are only able to see the boundary. Now we are going to proceed and click at this particular down drop. We copy the current selection. Under the information tab, we can say we want to see the border, And also let's say we want to see the border and the point, so we can say border and point. Now let's proceed and click at display, and then we make sure that we check points so that we are able to see the points. And in this case the view direction is plan. Remember, this is plan. We are going to look at this later in details, but for now we just want to change how we are able to see the surface. In this case we are changing the surface style. Now let's proceed and click OK, and then we click OK once again, and now we are able to see the boundary as well as the points. Now select this particular surface, under this particular modify in the thin surface existing ground contextual menu, right click at this particular point, just proceed and click to expand the surface properties. Click at surface properties. You can note that currently we have the border and points. We are going to proceed and copy the current selection. Under information tab, where we want to see the border and triangles. So let's proceed and change from border and points to border and triangles. And then under the display, we are going to turn off the display of points and turn on the display of triangles. So proceed and click at triangles to turn it on. Note that once you click to turn it on, the glow for this particular bulb like symbol is growing in a yellow color. Now let's proceed and click OK, and then we click OK once again, and then I'm going to press escape to deselect. So we are able to see the triangles. This is the triangulation as well as the border.